We're going to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can you call a roll, please, Heather?
Member Steele?
Here.
Member Lyon-Welch? Here. Member Frederick? Here. Member Billsborough?
Here.
Member Holbrook?
Here.
Member Dean is absent. Member Lake?
Here. Thank you. And next we have a presentation program from Jefferson Elementary. Professional learning community.
Community, yes. I don't know where we want you. Okay. Well, good evening. So we're here to talk about PLCs at Jefferson, the actual process of the PLCs at Jefferson. This is Catherine Stutler. Now, I forgot she got married. Third grade teacher. Michelle Fondren and Lindsay Dixon are both our second and third grade looping teachers. And in August, they went to a PLC conference, and they are eager to share how they are implementing these new practices. And we want to give you can go on it.
Thank you.
No problem. We just want to give you a sneak preview of how we are using our time on early release Wednesdays to collaborate and support our students.
As Toby said, we went to the conference over the summer, and the focus was on how all of our students are doing, both academically and non-academically. And so for us at Jefferson, this means looking at how are our students doing and what can we do to support them. And we've really focused this year on looking at how are we going to ensure that all students are mastering our cardinal standards, or the math and ELA standards that grade level teams have identified as being the most important standards for all students to master. At the conference, we looked at all this data, and really what the data says is that we have a global problem where students need an average of 4 to 5 months of additional instruction in reading and math to catch up to where they were before the pandemic. And we know that before the pandemic, there was still a need. We also looked at non-academic needs, and at the conference they shared that student engagement has decreased and absenteeism has increased. So, at Jefferson, we have been focusing on finding ways of increasing student engagement and in addressing concerns related to absenteeism.
So we do have a committee that meets weekly, and we look at our attendance and our behavior data. And when we meet, we talk about how can we support these kiddos, what can we do differently, how can we think outside of the box. So at conference time, we actually prepared certificates and little candies to give parents to thank them for making sure that their child was coming to school, and also then they could give that to their child when they went home that night. So it was kind of a different approach to just giving the child the certificate, but to actually recognize the parents and what they're doing for us. We also met individually with the parents the families that are really struggling with attendance, and we wanted to find out why is this happening? How can we support you? There are many, many different reasons why kids are not coming to school. So we want to partner with the families. And then after we met during conference time, we also set up additional meetings every 6 to 8 weeks with these families, just to find out how it's going, making sure that we're monitoring that data, making sure that kids are coming to school. And we want families really to know that not only do we care about their child, but we care about them, and how can we support them.
Absolutely. And on the end of student engagement, we've been focusing on how we can use explicit instruction strategies to ensure that all of our students are actively engaged in learning in all subjects and in all classrooms. And we this year have been using the Cerebrate curriculum to address some of those non-academic needs. Here are some examples from our self-control unit. This is one of the 8 focuses of our Cerebrate curriculum. And these are some of the ways that students have demonstrated their understanding of what it means to have and show self-control in the classroom. And some of the different strategies are look, listen, and stop, stopping and thinking before they act, and then thinking about what can they do when they feel that their body might not be in control. So, based on the data, based on what we know is going on globally, we agree that change needs to happen. So at Jefferson, we have committed to using the PLC process to making that change happen.
So the 3 pillars that we're focusing on are collaboration, which we want our teachers to collaborate with each other, and we're going to give some examples of that. We also want to focus on learning, and the learning isn't just for the students, the learning is for the staff and the teachers to continually learn as well. And then we're focusing on results. Now, I have to tell you, this was my 3rd PLC conference that I've been to. And every time we've come back, we've been so excited. You know, the first year I went, I think there were 2 people from my building that went. And we came back and we were like all gung-ho, and we kind of fell on our face. Then the next time we went, we had like 3, 4 people that went. This time we had 7 or 8 people from our building that went. And when we came back, all 7 or 8 of us did a major presentation to the staff to try to get them to have the buy-in that we were so excited about, that if we do this PLC process correctly, we are really going to move our kids and they're going to learn what we really want them to learn. I will be honest with you, I feel that really the only way to get your whole building to buy in is send your whole building and send your whole entire staff to go. But I know that's a lot of money, but I will say, if we want to, I mean, there's wonderful schools out there that they can have wonderful testimonies of how they have helped their students to grow, but it takes everybody to buy into the process. I will say that this year, we're getting more buy-in, and we'll show you the next example. Our collaboration, part of our collaboration that we've been working on results, and we took an assessment in 2nd grade, and we put it out on a spreadsheet. It was out there for everybody to see how their students did, and that's part of it, is we have to be able to trust each other and feel okay sharing this data. And then we all went through and talked about, how did you teach this in your classroom? And you'll see that each teacher had some ideas of how they did it, and we all were doing different things. And our hope is that when we leave there, they have just one new idea to help get their students to master and the concept that we're trying to teach them.
And 3rd grade has done the same. So this is an example of one of our math assessments that we took. So we're following a protocol where we all are telling what we noticed from our classroom, what surprised us, and then what our next steps are. So then again, each person shares what they noticed, what surprised them, and what they will do going forward. So this is an example from 3rd grade. All right, so in addition to collaborating, we are focused on student learning, and we feel one of the most important things we're doing is using explicit instruction. So all teaching staff is involved in explicit instruction throughout the year, trainings, and some of the main ways that we're using explicit instruction is to increase engagement for students. If students are actively participating, answering questions, discussing, they are more apt to learn what we're presenting to them. So some use of sentence starters, using hand signals, working in triads or in pairs, using their whiteboards. So we're just constantly getting ways that students are engaged in their lessons. And we feel like that's really helping them to actually learn the content.
And I just want to add, every time after our explicit instruction training, we go back to our PLCs and we talk about what are we going to implement, what are we going to try, what strategies did we get from that lesson, and we document it in our PLC agenda, so everybody knows they can always go back and say, what was it that we were going to try? So it's helpful that way too.
One of the explicit instruction strategies that we focused on is having students use turn-in talks. So giving students frequent opportunities to discuss their learning with a partner. And this video highlights how students are doing that in one of our classrooms. I think the volume is on the computer, not up there. So fix that.
Thank you. This happened before. You should have checked the volume.
So
Oh, it should come out.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah.
out. So,
So even without the volume, you can see that the students are taking turns with their whiteboards, showing each other how they solved the math problem. And my favorite part of this video is the one student says, well, this is how I did it, but I like how you did that. So it's really giving students opportunities to discuss what does their partner's learning look like, what does my work look like, and giving them opportunities to learn from each other as well as a whole group.
All right, and we also committed to focus on results. So oftentimes when we came back from a PLC conference, we wanted to do a PLC, we wanted to collaborate together. But did we actually look at data and adjust our instruction, adjust what's happening in our classroom based on that data? And we didn't really feel like we were doing that. So we have made a commitment this year that when we take assessments in our class, we are going to go back to a PLC and discuss that data as a team. So these are two examples of our math assessments that we have taken. So the first example, we wanted to see what classrooms had the highest achievement. So again, as Michelle said, we really have to have a safe and supportive, area that we can do that. And we follow the protocol for data dialogue. That way everyone feels safe and everyone has a voice that's heard. But we can use this data to see, okay, Michelle's class had really great scores. Michelle, what did you do to teach that? What strategies did you use? Just to give us all some ideas, and maybe even Michelle could pull some students that were struggling and teach those strategies to them. So we're using data in a meaningful way. The second example, we are looking at average scores for different types of questions. Different content to see where students need intervention compared to where they did really well and are mastering those concepts. So as a building, we have all committed to doing PLC the right way to make that shift happen so that our students are learning and our teachers are learning from each other. So we welcome you anytime you would like to see our PLCs on early release. Come on in and see what they're all about.
Thank you.
I was ahead of my time. I used to turn the talk all the time.
I just get my name on the board for it, but now it's all cool, isn't it?
We should give you a gold star.
Yeah, hey man, I'm just saying that.
The evaluation process that you're going to go through, is it a yearly process?
When we're looking at data,
Yes.
oh no, we're looking at that every, I want to say,
Oh, anytime we take
4
an
to 6 weeks,
assessment.
anytime we do an assessment.
And this process has been used at other schools. Has it been successful in any other schools?
Yes, from when they went to the PLC conference and when I went to the conference a couple of years ago. So we are being more intentional in making sure that we were using it to make our focus groups and to make sure that we were addressing those kids that were below grade level. But now we're being more intentional with every time we give an assessment to do that, as opposed to just doing it every 6 to 8 weeks for our groups.
So this is going to help our students catch up the
That's our hope.
4 months that they're behind.
That's our hope.
You're not going to cancel summer vacation?
No. Thanks.
Not voting for that.
Not yet.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next, we have the request for public participation. Does anybody wish to address the board? I don't have any slips. Next, approval of the minutes from November 24th, 2025. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda. Any communications?
Actually, there were some communications in Claire's folder. For instance, She's not here. Sorry.
Do you know about them?
I do.
Are they anything we could wait on, or?
Mary Daly's family sent in a thank you card for the
Oh.
arrangement that was sent
Yeah.
to her service.
Both of them are from the day.
Yeah, both of them. And then the inner office envelope is something that was sent over to Claire from, I think, where her grandchild attends, I think maybe Larson. He drew a picture for her.
Lakeland.
Oh,
Claire?
It's like,
Yeah, it was just sent over.
Lakeland.
Lakeland,
Yeah,
How come she got a picture and we didn't?
So,
Well,
Oh, she,
it's very cute, so, yeah, that was the point.
you don't attend, you get burned. Okay, thank you.
And you got a future piece too.
Personnel recommendations, Mr. Flynn.
relative to support staff recommendations, the Board of Education accept the resignation of Heather Harvey from the administrative assistant to the superintendent position and the executive secretary position for the Board of Education, effective January 2, 2026. The Board of Education approved the administrative recommendation to employ Julie Fitch for the administrative assistant to the superintendent position and the executive secretary for the Board of Education, effective January 5th, 2026. And the Board of Education accept the resignation of Jason Reynolds from the position of bus driver for Coldwater Community Schools, effective January 1, 2026.
Is that it?
That is it.
What's this?
That's, these are, oh, from November, it looks like? Because you're looking at the November board packet?
That's the
We just
second
did that
time that's
last month.
happened, I
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say, we just did that last
Yeah, you can do that.
So, yeah, that's the PDF you opened, is November 24.
Oh, 24 even.
November 24.
Oh,
On
I
the
was
right,
like, fine.
right agenda?
No, probably on the right agenda, but it's the minutes, the personnel.
You think it's a minute?
No, the PDF says board packet 11/24/2025.
We're not gonna be able to have this meeting.
Do you want the hard copy over here?
I'm confused with what's happening here. I don't understand.
He pulled up last month.
So is the president of the school board.
This is exactly the same from last month, so he's right on schedule. So once he dives in, he's got it wrong.
Got it.
You know, if I had my old computer, we wouldn't have this problem. All right, well, I'll catch up.
Do you need the reports though?
Approval of November accounts.
Okay.
Approval of the November accounts.
Yeah, and December financial statements.
You're up.
All right. Be it resolved that the following accounts for November be approved for payment as follows. General fund accounts in the amount of $2,317,439.13. Special revenue accounts in the amount of $251,296.11. And be it resolved that the general fund financial statements be approved as presented.
Thank you. Next, we have the acceptance and approval of gifts via member Steele.
Yes. Recently, the administration was made aware of the following gift offered by the donor listed below. Recognition and approval for acceptance of the gift is being sought. From Good, Better, Best for monetary funds, the recipient was Jefferson Elementary for field trip costs for $500. The gracious and continued support of the donor listed above is sincerely appreciated. We ask that the board accept the gift noted and acknowledge the donor's generosity. Be it resolved that the Board of Education gratefully accepts the gift as presented, and be it further resolved that a letter of appreciation on behalf of the board be sent to the donor indicated above for their worthwhile and generous gift.
Thank you, member Steele. That is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next we have building reports. Do the principals have anything they wish to add? Ms. Newbecker, I'd like to know what bowling with turkeys is.
It was gross, actually. It was a frozen turkey and.
Frozen turkey?
Frozen turkey that all the top Cardinal Pride Point winners, earners, they got to bowl with the turkey. And we just set up the plastic bowling pins in the gym and they bowled with it. Like a ball.
Is that a yearly event?
Well, it was our first time.
I was confused when I saw it on the agenda.
Yes, it was our first time. It was my first experience also. The kids loved it. It was hilarious. I guess it can get really gross if you have too much bowling going on because eventually the bird will flop out of the plastic and it's gross. We cleaned the gym floor very well.
Was that an 8-pound turkey or 10 or?
It was a 7-pounder.
I mean, did it have finger holes or something?
No. But they did require some help from Officer Ajabi. I never say his name right. Noah. Officer Noah. He helped some of our little people get it down there.
Thank you very much
It
for
was
that
fun.
explanation.
It was gross.
Next we have the Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Anything you wish to?
Met with curriculum chairs, elementary curriculum chairs last week. Individually, they went and took a rubric to look at our 2 remaining pilots, and we're on schedule to bring our recommendation for our elementary literacy resource to the board next month. Excited about that. Excited to hear Jefferson talking about instruction, as all of our buildings are. As part of high reliability schools, we'll be using kind of the framework of the new art and science of teaching. 3 categories, 10 design areas. Each building will be putting in instructional elements, which will be our go-to moves. And just like Fortune 500 companies, we'll get better than anyone else at those. And you'll see kids' scores increase.
Including reading level.
Thank you, Mr. Steele. I appreciate it.
Mr. Dancer, after we bring the approval, or the chosen one for approval in January.
Yeah, then we'll go
We'll immediately order after that and get the materials so buildings can start to get familiar with it over the second
phase 2 of the
semester.
process. We'll get an implementation plan. We'll work with the company to order and also start looking at PD so teachers can be very comfortable prior to the fall.
So we won't be piling all this extra work on them in the summer.
Our hope is that we will get the materials from the company and we'll be ready to go. They'll definitely have a chance to understand what they'll be getting, what's in the curriculum materials. Obviously, I'm not the one that does shipping and handling, but hopefully it'll be here early.
Have you learned all this positivity from the superintendent?
It rubs off on me, yes.
Okay. There's a swim report in here that it has no heading, so I didn't know what it was until I read through it.
Yeah, so we're working with our director at the Aquatic Center on what her reports look like. So stay tuned to for bigger and better reports.
All right. Next, board committee reports, we didn't have any, right?
Correct.
Superintendent's report.
I've already passed those out to you. I'm excited that we've returned to Tibbetts. Students from Jefferson attended a show last week of the Kalamazoo Symphony doing Peter and the Wolf. We weren't the only school district that went. It was Quincy, it was Bronson, and Pan Sophia.
And St. Charles.
And St. Charles were all in attendance. So we have been working with Chris Delaney and the principals of the buildings since the summer to start getting us kids back into the theater. And another part that is great about that, because where do the funds come from that? We received funds from this year's Giving Pump through Johnny's Market and Shell. This year was a total of $2,924, and all of that money is being used to offset the costs of tickets and transportation, so the buildings aren't taking all of that out of their internal funds. We received word that the city mural project is already being planned for this go around, this year, high school art teacher Chelsea Wilbur has announced that there are going to be more and various sizes for this year's mural project, and they're presenting their concepts at the next city council meeting, which I believe is right now, and with a display or a reveal planned for middle of May. So we'll keep you posted on that. The mats for the high jump and pole vault have been delivered and are currently in storage for the winter, but I'm happy that we have those in, and Buzz is coordinating for the possible replacement of the cement pad, especially under the pole vault mats. It's getting pretty crumbled, so hopefully we can get that done early enough. Jefferson Bus Loop, an update on that. We've contacted a civil engineer to begin discussing designs and services for the parking lot work, which was a recommendation by Mr. Billsborough that we do something back there to help with the congestion of traffic every day. And then the energy audit that I've talked to you a little bit about. Back last year, we filled out a bunch of information on all of our buildings for a statewide energy audit study. And we have received our report for the district. It's 77 pages long and very, very small type that Buzz and I will be looking over and coming up with some plans. But if you'd like a copy, I can email you a copy. That way you can do what I do and magnify it on your screen so you can actually read it. But hopefully we'll be able to start some plans for all of our buildings to increase the energy efficiency. And that's what I have.
What's the status of the geothermal evaluation of the pool?
There has been little to no movement in the status of the geothermal heating part of the pool.
And I should quit asking?
No, we'll keep working on it. If Buzz was here or if Nick were here, both of them would tell you that people aren't calling us back. So we're calling and trying to get things set up and people aren't calling us back. So both the city with Nick and the school with Buzz are working on it. They meet or talk almost daily about different things that are going on at the pool. So we'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Any discussion items? We'll move on to the action items. The first is the second reading and adoption of revised and new policies. It went through the first evaluation last month, and this policy committee met to discuss the Neola recommended updates. There are two areas of focus in this round. The first deals with repeal and reassignment of wording on the topic of non-discrimination to streamline and consolidate the policy manual to be consistent. The second part consists mostly of changes that are deemed necessary due to changes in state and federal legislation, clarification of language, or the increasing needs for cybersecurity. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the second reading of the revised and rescinded board policies as submitted and are hereby adopted. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Member Holbrook,
Yes.
Member Steele,
Yes.
Member Dean is absent, Member Billsborough,
Yes.
Member Lyon Welch.
Yes.
Member Frederick,
Yes.
Member Lake.
Yes, motion passes. Next, we have a recommendation to approve Xerox purchase for new copier/printer for Lakeland Elementary.
Dr. Lakewood's the volleyball nets. Sorry, number 2.
What the heck?
That page right there.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
You know, I might need a paper copy of this. For now.
I'll get you.
I seem to be going too fast through this stuff. The middle school volleyball poles are broken and need to be replaced. To address the need and maintain consistency across the district athletic facilities, the district plans to purchase new net systems for the high school. 2 of the existing high school volleyball poles will then be relocated to the middle school. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the purchase of volleyball net systems from Sports Imports in the total amount of $8,138.72. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? How are these things so special? Do they have electronics or something in them, or?
Well, no, they're mostly metal, and metal isn't cheap anymore. Steel isn't cheap.
I see. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we have the recommendation to approve the Xerox purchase for a new copier/printer for Lakeland Elementary. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approve the purchase of a new Xerox printer/copier for Lakeland Elementary in the amount of $5,249 from Elizabeth Mason at Business Impressions as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve entering into negotiation for the sale of the Girard property. We discussed this. Didn't we discuss this at the last meeting?
And you've had some
Yeah.
information in your emails as well.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the superintendent to act on behalf of the district and enter into negotiations with the Branch Intermediate School District for the sale of the Girard property as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion?
Will the ISD be buying this?
Yes. Yeah. This is that property that currently we own, but they put the module on. So they own the property, we own the property, they own the building. It makes no sense for us to own the property.
Roll call vote.
On a roll call on this one? Did I have a roll call on it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll roll call. Member
Property.
Steele?
Yes.
Member Lyon Welch?
Yes.
Member Frederick?
Yes.
Member Billsborough?
Yes.
Member Holbrook?
Yes.
Member Dean is absent. Member Lake?
Yes, motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve overnight trip to Chicago for the CHS choir students. Dr. Simmons, with the support of the high school principal, Dr. Hope, is requesting board approval for the overnight trip to Chicago, April 18 and 19, 2026, for participating Coldwater High School choir students as presented. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the recommendation for the overnight trip to Chicago on April 18th and 19th, 2026 for participating Coldwater High choir students as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion?
They will be performing?
Yeah, it's for judging, so it's sort of like a class. So they go and they perform and they get feedback from the judges.
I see.
How many choir students are there?
Right around 20 at the moment.
How many?
Right around
20 at the moment.
At the moment.
But I think they're going to take the after-school Belleville group as well. So, about 20, 30 kids.
Because I divided this out and it came up to 24. But that includes chaperones and everybody, right? Teacher?
I think it's just, I think it's, I don't know who else is going to go.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve an out-of-state trip to Cleveland for the CHS National Art Honor Society. Coldwater High School art teacher Chelsea Wilbur has proposed a one-day out-of-state trip to Cleveland, Ohio for members of the NAHS National Art Honor Society on April 24th, 2026. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the recommendation for a one-day out-of-state trip for members of the NAHS on April 24th, 2026 as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the request to approve the renewal of independent contract agreement between Coldwater Community Schools and Hampton Aquatics and Fitness LLC. At a regular meeting held on November 24th, 2024, the Board of Education approved the independent contract agreement with Hampton Aquatics and Fitness LLC for the management and operations of the Dr. Robert W. Brown Aquatic Center, effective January 1st of 2025 for 1 year. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approved the renewal of the contract with Hampton Aquatics and Fitness LLC for the management and operations of the Dr. Robert W. Brown Center, effective January 1st, 2026 through December 31st of 2028, as presented, and authorizes Superintendent Flynn to sign the contract on behalf of its district. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I guess you're up, Heather.
Okay. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Board of Education, former Superintendent Whelan, Superintendent Flynn, the central office team, and all of the district staff for your support and trust throughout my time at Coldwater Schools. It has truly been an honor to serve this district for the past 10 years and to work alongside such dedicated professionals and friends. I am confident that Julie Fitch will do a wonderful job in this role and will feel, as I do, grateful to be part of such meaningful work. Thank you for trusting in me and for the memories and relationships I will forever cherish. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
It's been my
Thank you for your
pleasure.
service.
It's been my
It's
pleasure.
been magnificent.
Thank you. That means a lot.
And on behalf of the board, a couple of tokens of our appreciation. The plant, which I was told was easy to care for.
That's good.
Easy to care for, but to make your home office a little brighter, and a certificate to the local spa for the VIP treatment for VIP.
Thank you. Goodness. Thank you so much.
And a new
I wouldn't know what to do with
Announcements and comments. A special meeting of the Board of Education will be held Monday, January 5th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center located at 401 Sauk River Drive in Coldwater for the approval by the board to proceed with the process of applying for preliminary qualification bonds by the state treasurer and any other business deemed necessary. The next regular organizational meeting of the Board of Education will be held Monday, January 26th at 6 o'clock in the evening at the Administrative Service Center here. Now we have a request to conduct executive session pursuant to PA 267, Section 8A, for the purpose of considering a periodic personnel evaluation of an employee. A roll call vote is necessary. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support. Roll call.
Okay, Member Dean is absent. Member Holdrother.
Yes.
Member Lyon Luck.
Yes.
Member Steele.
Yes.
Member Frederick.
Yes.
Member Billsborough.
Yes.
Member Lake.
Yes. We are in closed session. Thank you all for coming.